The courtyard is sun-baked and quiet, except for feet. Bare feet on packed earth, an even, quick stamp, followed by the clipped count of a teacher guiding a line of students. Close your eyes for a moment. The rhythm is almost a heartbeat. Quiet stones, loud stories. Today, we step under a tamarind tree to learn how Bokator moves through bodies and village life.
I'm Sam Nang Bradley. With me is my friend and co-host, Sovan Linda. We're visiting a small training ground a few hours from Phnom Penh, where a teacher named Master Chan has been rebuilding a school of Bokator, linking postures to the carved warriors we know from temple walls and to the rhythms of daily life.
From the first footfall, you can tell this practice lives in the body. The layers matter. This is technique, memory, and community stitched together. Today, we'll hear from Master Chan, meet a student named Nika, and listen to an elder, Mrs. Dara, who remembers when lessons stopped and how they returned. We'll also have a short expert reflection to frame what embodied transmission means.
First, a quick cultural frame. Bokator is one of Cambodia's oldest martial arts, roots in temple iconography and village defense. It's not just fighting. It's a movement language that carries stories. In the show notes, we list sources and local schools mentioned today. A quick content note. We will describe movement and rhythm, but we will not provide step-by-step combat instructions. Please don't try to imitate techniques from your kitchen or backyard.
The costume details matter. Simple bindings, a chroma around the waist or head, and sometimes cloth wraps for the shins and hands. These are practical and symbolic, connected to lineage and local custom. If you visit, ask first about etiquette. Our practical tips later will cover how to respectfully observe or inquire about training.
Now, to the yard. When I arrive, Master Chan is demonstrating a basic flow. He moves slowly for us, then faster, like a story told in two voices. You can see the temple carvings in his posture, the bend of an arm, the way a foot corners the ground. I step closer and listen to his counting. 1, 2, then a small pause. 3. There's a lineage in that count.
When I was small, my teacher would point to the stones at Angkor and say, "The body is a walking temple. Each stance remembers the carvings." We learn the animal names, the strikes, but also why they are shaped like that, because our ancestors moved that way in fields, in processions, and defending the village.
He demonstrates a swinging palm that looks like wind through rice stalks. He does not call it combat first. He calls it story. Later, he tells me how a movement taught at the dojo once kept a neighbor from falling on a slick riverbank. It's practical, yes, but the real thread is continuity, holding a tradition so it can teach again.
I started because my father said it would keep me strong. At first, I only wanted to be good at the moves. Now I like how training calms my mind before exams. When we train, we say the teacher's name, tie our krama, and we begin. My friends laugh because I practice kicks at home, and my mother tells me to be careful. But at the dojo, I feel like I belong.
Nika's part of a younger generation, balancing school, family duties, and a revived practice. I ask her about apprenticeship, how time in the yard translates into livelihood. She laughs softly. There's no easy path, but people pay small fees, neighbors bring rice after events, and the sense of being part of something older than yourself motivates continued practice.
We are careful to teach not only how to strike, but how to care for a body. We warm up, we practice falling safely. There is also teaching about respect, how to enter a temple, how to treat elders. The art is not sold as a show, it is given and kept. When tourists come, we ask them to film only with permission and to pay fairly if they want a demonstration.
During the hard years, children learned less. The songs stopped in some homes, and teachers left. But the knowledge lived in people's memories. When Master Chan returned from the city to teach, we began again. I cried the first time I saw the boys and girls practice, like a part of our village waking up. It is small things, the sound of palms, the laugh after a fall, the way families sit together after practice.
Those small things, laughter after a fall, families sharing rice, are the structural supports of cultural resilience. They're not glamorous, but they are durable. I notice a wooden training dummy in the yard, its wood polished where palms strike, each groove a memory. Master Chan taps it once, and the sound is dry and old and honest.
Let's pause for a soundscape moment. Imagine the steady rhythm of training, a teacher's count, the slap of palms against cloth, the whisper of a krama knot. Beyond the yard, market calls weave through, a cartwheel, a distant gong. Layering place and practice gives a sense of how Bokator sits inside everyday life.
We give space here for that place to exist in your ear. Let the cadence settle. This is a practice you feel as much as you see. The movement is a living archive.
From a cultural standpoint, embodied practices like Bokator encode both technique and social relations. The stance is a technical pattern, yes, but it also signals who you are: student, apprentice, teacher. Continuity happens when those social relations are rebuilt and supported. Fair pay, community recognition, and safeguarding of consent when outsiders record or participate.
Dr. Min's point matters. Revival is more than moves. It is about rights, livelihoods, and consent. In our show notes, we list ways listeners can support. Look for verified schools, ask about teacher compensation, and consider donations to programs that train instructors and preserve community control.
Okay, practical tips for visitors. If you're curious to watch or try a class, approach respectfully, ask permission, offer to pay a fee or make a small donation, and never pressure minors to perform. If you want to film, ask in advance and be explicit about how footage will be used. If you want to train, find schools with clear consent practices and safety measures. And remember, observe before you try.
A short content reminder. We've intentionally avoided step-by-step instructions. Martial arts can be dangerous if imitated without supervision. Treat this episode as a doorway to learning, not a how-to guide.
If someone wants to help, come with respect. Learn a greeting, listen to the elders, and pay the teacher. We love to share, but we ask that our practice be represented properly. The temple stones teach us patience. The body learns slowly, like planting rice. You care for it every day. If you come, bring a small gift maybe, some water or help with cleaning the yard, and laugh with us when things go wrong. That matters as much as watching the technique.
As we close, I look at the faces in the yard. There is sweat and concentration and the steady work of passing knowledge, hand to hand, foot to foot, generation to generation. Bokator isn't only about stances carved in stone. It's about the people who keep those stances alive in daily life. When you walk these places with me, you hear how movement becomes memory.
The deeper story is how culture survives through ordinary acts, returning to teach, sharing meals after practice, respecting elders. That is the resilience we want listeners to notice and support.
Before we go, links and credits are in the show notes. verified schools we visited, references Dr. Min recommended, and a note about how the masters were compensated for their time. If you enjoyed this walk with us under the tamarind tree, subscribe to Ancient Echoes KH so we can keep bringing you more temple secrets and kitchen stories. Sam Nang Bradley. Listen, learn, belong.
Subscribe, share with a friend who loves movement or culture, and check the transcript for pronunciation notes and links. Thank you to Master Chan, Nika, Mrs. Dara, and Dr. Min for letting us tell a piece of this story.
Quiet stones, loud stories. Until next time, walk the temples with me.